Hello, this is Peter with another video. Today I thought we'd have a look at my pineapple guavas and my plans for rejuvenation, because at the moment they're not really doing a whole lot, and that's probably for mainly one reason, and that's because the roots are just too restricted in the pots that they're in. Now obviously these ones are in much smaller pots than they really should be in, and because of that the growth is really slow. It's only just pushing out a little bit of growth now. I don't see any flower buds on this one at the moment, although it is still very early for flower buds, to be fair. But I do have some on the patio which are covered in flower buds, which I'll show later in the video. But this one here is probably my tallest one, as you can see, definitely the largest that I've got. This is the Gemini variety. And yeah, my plan originally wasn't to plant this variety in the ground, or at least not yet. However, I have changed my mind because there is no way I can keep this in a pot anymore. It's just going to need it's going to need an absolutely huge pot. It's already in about, I think, about a 30-litre size pot, maybe a bit bigger, maybe not quite, maybe just under 30, but I don't even have any larger pots than this at the moment, so I'd have to try and source some larger ones, and then it's keeping them well watered, which it can be quite difficult in summer, and it has been quite difficult so far this spring with it being very dry. Even watering these regularly, they're still drying out very quickly. I will keep some of these smaller ones in pots, but yeah, I'm going to be getting a few of these in ground. Now I'm planning, in this area where they are now, I'm going to be planting at least, I think, 2 varieties here, probably one around here where that Gemini is, and then maybe one around where the apricot currently is. I could even get a third one in the middle, although they'd be quite close together there, a bit cramped. But yeah, I definitely need to get at least 2 of them in the ground here. So I was planning to put my unique, or one of my uniques. I've got 2 uniques, this is one of them. It's the one I've had the longest, which is in also a 30-litre pot or thereabouts. It's got quite a thick trunk on it now, but yeah, just doesn't, you see, it's very unhealthy. Leaves are very pale, drying up at the tips because of the lack of moisture. No real growth on them, so I'm going to probably put this one in the ground. I also want to plant my mammoth. Yeah, this one here is a mammoth. It's not grown much, as you can see, because it needs a much bigger pot really. So yeah, I'm going to put this one in the ground, probably the unique, and maybe the Gemini here if I have space. I might just squeeze 3 of them in here against this fence. I'm also planning to put one on the other side of the garden, although that doesn't really get much direct sun, but yeah, it's better than having them in a pot and not really thriving at all. I'll also show the ones I got on the patio as well. Okay, so I've got here another unique, which you can see is also dropping leaves because it's very dry, even though I've been watering it pretty much every day. And then I've got another Triumph there. I think in total I've got 6 varieties of pineapple guava. Mammoth, Triumph, Apollo, Gemini, Nikita and Unique, assuming the labels are actually correct anyway. This one has fruited for me before in a pot. When I first got it, it came with quite well developed fruits, and those actually ripened and were pretty tasty. Last year it got 1 fruit on it, which wasn't particularly good, and the much larger unique I had, which I showed earlier, has fruited for me as well, but the fruit never fully reach the full size because it was not a very good summer that year. But it hasn't fruited since. I've had the odd flower on it, but yeah, I think it definitely needs to go in the ground. So what I'll probably do is I'll plant the largest unique in the ground. I'll probably repot this one into a larger pot. Once I've freed up the ones that I've planted in the ground, those larger pots, I'll use them to repot some of these smaller ones into them. I also have two Nikitas over here. These ones back here have been extremely dry. Even over winter I had to water these because they weren't getting much water. But they have been flushing out lots of new growth, and as you can hopefully just about see, there's lots of flower buds as well. They're very small though, although I don't think they're actually going to really do much. Those also will be getting repotted as well. I think in larger containers they might do okay this year, so we'll see how they get on. So yeah, overall they're not doing too well at the minute, but yeah, hopefully once they've all been repotted or planted in the ground, we'll give them a bit a new lease of life. I'll just quickly go back down to the other area again just to finish up. So yeah, I'll probably get the three I mentioned in ground. In this area here, pretty much decided now I will put 3 of them here, even though they're quite close together, because I am very limited on space in the garden here. But I think they'll do much better if they're planted in the ground rather than kept in these pots anyway, even if they're very overgrown and cramped close together. So yeah, we'll get the Gemini, the Unique and the Mammoth in the ground. The reason I'm going to go with the Mammoth is because it's meant to be one of the better tasting varieties, at least from all the taste reviews I've seen of it. The Triumph, the Apollo and the Nikitas, those will probably be kept in large containers for now. And I may eventually plant them on the other side of the garden or in other areas when I find space for them. But yeah, I think they'll do okay at least for another year or so in a larger pot. Yeah, so I'll definitely do an update on these once I've got them in the ground. So hope you enjoyed this quick look at the pineapple guavas and the plans this year on how to get them hopefully fruiting again. I doubt I'll get any fruits this year just because they've been struggling so much in these small containers. But I guess there's maybe a small chance if I get them repotted or in the ground now that they might just about have enough time to flower and set a couple of fruits. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and we shall keep you all up to date on how these pineapple guavas or feijoas get on. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.